Hey guys, welcome to my Let's Talk channel. I don't even know if that's what it should be called. Basically, I just make unscripted conversation about the everyday things in life. It could be about something serious, something random, something happening in the news. It really doesn't matter. And my main goal here is just to be a relatable channel that you can listen to and interact with if you wish. And I just want to create an environment where you can throw this on in the background and do whatever that you're already doing and just listen, because chances are if I'm having thoughts about certain topics, then others have to feel the same way too. So, why not put it into content form so we can all talk about things that are very relatable but that are very basic in our day-to-day life. I uploaded a video before this, so this is actually my second upload. The first one I went kind of deep and emotional. I talked about like holidays and the hardship surrounding holidays, and again, it's stuff that we can relate to. It's stuff that a lot of us go through but we don't talk about. And so for this episode, I wanted to not be as serious, and I kind of wanted to ease up a little bit. And so today I want to talk about morning rituals. I think we all have a morning ritual, or most of us do. For some of us, it's by choice, and then the rest of us, me included, it's something that I kind of force upon myself, because I feel like if I just lived based on doing the things that I feel like doing, and if I was overly dependent on my emotions, then I would be sleeping in late, I would be staying up late, I'd be eating whatever, and I'd basically just be like an 8-year-old living life however they want to based on free will. And that would be a horrendous life. I would be getting nothing done. I don't even think I'd be able to hold down a job. And so for my sanity and for my productivity, I had to force a pretty complex morning ritual. And so that's what I want to talk about today. And I want to go through my bizarre morning ritual with you guys first, and then I can get deeper into, I guess, just the conversation surrounding this topic. So I think I might be OCD or something, but I actually have to write these things down because I really, really need structure. I know that anybody listening to this one has not listened to the first episode because, again, I'm very new to YouTube. I don't have a following. I don't have an audience. But in my first video, I talked about how, I'm going through my fair share of holiday hardship too. And, I'm going through grief and loss. I'm 29. I'm learning to live without parents. I'm learning to live with a whole lot of other stresses in life that I never saw coming, especially at my age. Things really started to happen when I was 27, and then it's kind of compounded in a way that's been really hard to manage. And I just turned 29 earlier this month. Thankfully, the losses itself stopped a little less than a year ago, but ever since then, I think my biggest challenge has been the mental health side of things. It's been the panic attacks. It's been, I won't sugarcoat it, but it's been really deep depression, and it's been just finding a way to keep my head afloat when the world keeps spinning, even though I'm here drowning. It feels unfair, and it feels like I don't have many people to fall back on. And so what do you do when you have nobody? You have to pick yourself up. And so my very OCD caveman solution to this was just to be extremely rigid with everything I do. And it starts with my morning ritual. And I actually have my ritual and a lot of other things I do in my day, my workouts and my goals. I do everything in Google Sheets just because a lot of it's pre-planned. Like the morning stuff, for example, it's not going to change. Every morning is supposed to be the same. So it's all just written out in cells. It's organized, it's color coded. And then as I'm going through the day, sometimes I'll just color that cell with a certain color to indicate that that step has been done. I can move on to the next step. Again, it's way too specific. It's way too nerdy, but where I am in life, I kind of need that level of structure. The last thing I needed was to let my emotions get so bad to where the rest of my life starts falling apart too. My goals start falling apart, or if I'm not able to take care of myself, my health, my work. And at that point, your depression only gets worse when the rest of your life falls apart. And I guess a morning ritual is the only way that I could think of to forcefully keep things on track. And whether it's working or not, I can't even comment on that. I'm still very much in the trial and error process. I've been doing this for a couple years now, but I'm always tweaking and adjusting and just trying to make sure that life stays okay. So anyways, here's my morning ritual. And by the way, I do all of these things in the exact same order every single day, right as I'm running through the checklist. So the first thing I do is I wake up and I take supplements. For me, it's just D3 and creatine, but I also just got done with another round of antidepressants. But back when I was taking those pills, basically I would take any and all pills with creatine. That's the first thing I do. And then right away, I will strip down to my underwear and weigh myself. And again, I know some of these things might sound weird to you, but a lot of the things I do in my morning ritual align with certain goals I have in life. So for example, with my therapy and medication treatment, it's not something that's optional. It's not something that I need to do when I feel like it. I need to do it every single day, regardless of how I feel. If I didn't sleep 1 minute last night because I was crying my eyes out, it doesn't matter. Medicine needs to be taken. And then the next goal, weighing myself, that's more of a personal goal. I track my weight weekly, I work out daily, and so I just kind of have certain thresholds where I want to be at to make sure I'm not gaining or losing weight too quick. But then immediately I'll brush my teeth and I will go straight to the gym. Right as I come back, I start making my to-do list and then make my bed, clean my room entirely, fill up my water jug, unplug. I put away dishes that are dry. I wash any and all dishes that are in the sink, and then I log onto my work computer. And I work a corporate job, so I've got all sorts of emails and other things just piling up all the time. So I'll do one by one, run through emails, set up meetings, respond to people, update my work to-do list with things I need to get done that day, look at projects and deadlines and see what I need to work on for that day. And usually all of this is happening like before 5 a.m. But once I do all that, then I go to the bathroom, I clean shave, I will shower, get dressed, make my coffee, and then sit down at my work desk. And I try to do it before 6 a.m. even though work doesn't start till 7. So I have that hour to kind of unplug and do nothing. And sometimes, if I'm being honest, I will turn on the PS5 at 6 in the morning and I will mindlessly play video games for an hour before the workday starts. I know it's really weird, but in some way it helps me feel like the day isn't just some rigid military routine where, you wake up at 4:30 and you're just going. This kind of makes me feel like the day is almost like a video game itself. And I have times where I can unplug and just do something completely random. And I think there are good and bad sides to having a morning ritual. I shared earlier how if I was overly dependent on doing the things that I feel like doing or just relying on my feelings alone, I probably would fall apart in every aspect of life because I'm criminally lazy if I let myself be. And so the good sides for me is this kind of becomes like my adulting checklist. And I hate to say it like that because I think I'm overgeneralizing and oversimplifying. My morning checklist can actually get much, much longer if I have a lot more things happening in my life. For example, in the past, I used to force myself to journal first thing in the morning, and I don't even know if that helped me. Like journaling helps some people. I'd be a puddle of tears at 4 in the morning because I barely slept the night before, or some days I didn't even sleep, period. And I'm telling myself like, oh, the to-do list says so we have to do it. We're gonna heal if we do this. We're gonna feel better if we do this. And I'm a puddle of tears and I barely get any words down on paper. And then I'm in such a bad mood that I don't work out. I don't even brush my teeth until like 3 p.m. that day, and the whole day's ruined and I'm not productive. So, there's good and bad to it. If you're able to get through things in a calm state of mind, if you're able to be productive while not burning yourself thin, then I think this is really good structure. I think it takes care of things that a lot of us don't want to consciously do in our day. I know I can't be the only person who sometimes needs a reminder to be an adult. If it's tax season, I need reminders and a nudge to get that shit done. I'm not gonna just do it. If it's Saturday night and I know I need to get groceries the next day, and that means I need to sit down and meal prep and write down the meals I'm gonna make, and then, see if it meets my health goals, my calorie goals, my gym goals, and then meticulously plan out the ingredients I'm gonna buy the night before. I don't want to do these things. And so all of this is incorporated into my routine. Now, I'm such a nerd, and again, I don't say this to brag. I do all of these things because I'm lazy, but I am an efficient, lazy person. That's what I would describe myself as. But like these to-do lists that run on Google Sheets for me, everything runs by formulas and stuff. So come Saturday, it will update with a longer list. It will remind me that, hey, spend at least 30 to 45 minutes today looking at what you have, what you need to buy, and then take care of it. That